right, everybody, we're running a little bit late. Sorry about that. Grand Forks Best Source on a Tuesday. Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski is in the studio with us today. A lot of things to talk about. Today's show, by the way, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more, too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids, check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter, too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. You know, they can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street or call them 701-780-8462 and make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Back, Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski in the studio with us today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to call or text, all right? Our number here at the studio is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Time now for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. I was telling somebody about the time I was in a plane crash years ago, and they asked me, and this just dumbfounds me every time, well, how often do planes crash? And I said, not usually, just once. Mr. Mayor, how you doing, buddy?
You're that's really timely, that joke. So thanks a lot.
I was going to send you some pictures.
Oh, I know you had a bad crash.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And here's the thing. I have not been, the crash I was in was in 1988. I have not been in a small plane since. I have flown all over the world since then. It took me a long, long time to be able to get into an airplane again. But I still want to get one. I still want to get like an experimental or an old 40s Cub, like a Piper Cub, a tail dragger, just stick. Because then if I'm in control, if I'm in control, I think it would be okay for me. I've had offers to go up in small planes, but I don't dare. But congratulations, you have got your private pilot's license now. Just
yesterday, so it's hot off the presses.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, or was it not too bad?
It was 4 months. I was flying 2 or 3 days a week. You got to just stick with it.
Yep.
It's, you feel like you're never going to figure it out, and then it just kind of slowly comes, and then try to build off that skill set. I mean, I'm just barely, I know nothing at this point. I know enough to get a license and fly a Piper Archer. Outside of that, I got to gain a lot of experience. So it'll be fun.
Now, I done everything in a small plane myself, not a below wing aircraft like you fly, always above wing. But I've done everything but land. And to me, that part's, it's easy to fly an airplane once you're up there.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to fly an airplane.
The landing is tough. I mean, that is the hardest part because you're going to round out, you got to flare, you got to kind of ease it in. I beat that plane up. Probably my first 100 landings. I just couldn't get it back. As soon as it started to pitch up, I just would kind of freeze up and hold it there. You got to just keep that nose up. At least this is on the low wings. I mean, the Cessnas, maybe they're a little easier. You can see more what's going on. But the low wing, you don't get much vision to the, down.
And you said the first 100 or so landings. How many landings have you already done?
I'll go back to the sports world, the muscle memory. So, I would go like fly up to Grafton and just pound out like 8 landings and just go back, just practice it over.
Yep.
Sometimes I'd have 8 crappy ones and you're like, am I ever going to get better?
Sure.
But I probably have about 150 or so-ish landings now. So I'm still not good by any means, but at least they're a little
But that's a lot.
I'm not losing any more fillings.
Sure, yeah. And the last time I talked to you, I think you were getting ready for your first solo.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Was there a little pucker factor there, or how did the first solo go for you?
There was I rise up to the occasion. So I've always been kind of a gamer. But what I noticed is, your plane's only, a little over 2,000 pounds. So it was a lot more maneuverable and softer without the CFI in there. So
sure.
You had a lot less weight. So it was a little bit easier to land. But yeah, I just remember being up in the air and like because I did kind of 3 landings as part of my solo, and I'm just like, wow, you're just yelling to yourself like, this is just unreal. and you got to kind of pinch yourself. But the pucker factor is there. If you see the video, I'm sweating like I got pizzas in my armpit, like from my hip to halfway down my arm. I mean, it didn't help. It was 95 degrees.
Oh,
There's no AC in those planes, but I was sweating regardless.
So what does the wife and family think about the new pilot in the house?
I think they're excited. I know my daughter's been into it for a while. She actually took some lessons herself. Which is actually why I did it. I had prepaid for a bunch of lessons. I always wanted to do it. Prepaid for her, and she just had so much going on. She's going to take a break. So I had all this prepaid time. I'm like, well, I'm going to use it then.
What the heck? And now you're going to get instrument rated and all that stuff the way it sounds?
That's the next step, yeah. I mean, it's you obviously take a little bit of a breather here, and I want to just find some flights.
Because that's the hard part, from what I understand.
Yeah, then you're working on being in the weather and working off your instruments, and just you have a whole nother level of understanding. And you got to get 50 hours of cross-country in before you can even take your test for that. So
Right.
I'm at like 12, maybe, or a solo. I'm probably only at 5 or 6.
Sure.
So I got to build some hours and some proficiency.
So then next step and next up, and you don't have to answer this because we know how all the haters are out there and all the Karens, but are you going to buy an airplane or do you already have one?
Don't have one yet. Just looking for.
Aren't you going to use all that Russian mafia money to buy an airplane?
I can't. See if they take rubles. That'd be great.
Rubles.
Just trying to find. I mean, owning one on your own is really expensive. You got to try to get with a group that's got flying club or something that's got 4 or 5 people on a plane. So I'm just looking for that right
Going
now.
on absolutely. I know somebody. Maybe they'll talk to them about that. Good morning, guys, and Mayor Brandon. Why isn't there a skydiving company in Grand Forks? Somebody wants to know.
Good question. Now we got a pilot for it, so we just got to get a plane and skydive.
There you go.
Maybe there's nothing to see.
Bochenski skydiving services. I could hear it right now.
I don't even know where the nearest one is, but that's kind of
Fargo. I know there's one in Fargo.
Fargo's got some jumping. That'd be cool.
Wow. Okay, so you got all that done. You gonna be able to fly that thing to like Montana and stuff? Is there an airport near there, or is it better off just probably driving?
Eventually, that's the whole plan. I mean, I'm 44. I've played a lot of sports. Like, I'm still in pretty good shape, but like when you're sitting in a car, I'm stiffer than a board. My back goes out. Like, so if I'm on a 12, 13-hour car ride, I'm worthless for 2-3 days. Well, if you only got 4 days to go out to Montana and relax and cut loose, you can't be down for the first 3 days because your trip's already over.
Sure.
So it'd be about 3.5 hours, a little over 3 to get there because you got that westerly winds, but then back it'd be about 3 in a Cirrus if you had a Cirrus. So that's kind of the plane I'm looking at, which my wife would like to because it has a parachute.
Oh yeah, so you got the ballistic chute in there.
Anything in the air, but that would be the ideal sort of mission. And Ruby Valley Field is like a 10-minute drive from where our entrance to the Montana land is.
And let's face it, you don't go to Montana to the cabin to relax. Have you ever done that?
No, not yet, but someday. I mean, I'm there hunting and they're fixing it up, but someday, like everything else in life, it'll slow down and I'll retire from all that work, but it's getting there.
Right. Okay. Let's get to business, Mr. Mayor. City Council meeting last night. The only thing I really paid attention to because they came in and visited me last week was Brothers Firearms, one of the indoor fire range. And it looks like so far is that going to be a go? That
it's finally here. We've been waiting. We've needed a gun range. I've
we have forever.
At investing. It's a massive expense for the HVAC. You got to clear all that that lead or whatever gets in the air. So you got to have like 6 figures in an HVAC system. So they're taking a significant investment. They got it in the right spot. Obviously, being a firearm dealer as well, if you just opened a range and you weren't selling, guns, then it'd be hard to make it work. So they're the perfect guys. They work super hard. I'm pretty excited to see
a couple of veterans, great guys.
Yep. I've got a couple. At least I know I got one handgun from them in the past. So they treat you. Like
and we miss them here in the mall. Absolutely, we miss them. But they got a perfect spot out there. Right now, it kind of sucks trying to get there because of the big crane on Old Mill Road there. But congratulations to those guys. Finally, a long time coming, there will be an indoor shooting range in Grand Forks. Tonight, another big night as far as the city and the county goes. They're voting tonight on the Ray Richards redevelopment thing. And what are your thoughts on that before we get into it too much more?
I don't know. I mean, we're like 2-3 years into this thing now. So I think it's probably the best use you're going to get out of that land. You're going to get some tax revenue. It's nice. We've had a lot of amenities in the past, whether it's the Kings Walk Golf Course, the Alaris Center, the Children's Museum, Ultra Sports Complex. We've had all these great features, but we've always had to pay for them.
Yep.
And then they all pay no taxes at all ever. So
sure.
It's nice that there's an amenity that's going to keep that golf course there, have this Top Golf thing, something we don't have to pay for once, and it's going to pay taxes. So I think it's great. I know there's some folks that don't we all could say, we love the project, we just don't like the tax incentive. Well, the project isn't going to happen with us. We'd all wish the project would happen without it. But, looking at the numbers and really diving deep into there, it's not going to happen without this deal. And the land's going to sit there and it's going to end up being something far worse and probably far less tax revenue. So
now I know a couple of county commissioners, or at least Terry Bierke says UND would just be getting the tax break. And, and is that true? I mean, are we just giving them more money?
Well, UND pays no taxes anyway. I don't know what you're talking about there. I mean, you look at all the buildings that they have, it's state. So this property was already state owned. So as far as giving them a tax, but they don't pay taxes anyway. So now suddenly they're going to pay something that's better than nothing. So we get other benefits, obviously, from the university being here. Property tax is not one of them. This is one case where we would get something, and in the future, quite a significant amount.
I do feel bad for certain business owners that said, this new deal, they're going to have this and that there. And but, the same thing happened to us. It's kind of nice when you're first in line to get something going that's new, but then there's going to be 10 people following you. It's the same with us. We can't just expect Northern podcast companies to open up. I mean, or things like that. But, somebody's got to take a hit. Somebody's got to like it. And I'm glad I live in Minnesota.
I think you're going to draw a lot of folks to town with things like this, a lot of folks at the university. So I think on the apartment side, you're going to draw more folks here than these apartments are going to help. On the golf side, I don't see this as competition, anything that we currently have. My kids were down at a hockey tournament in Fargo, and where were they screaming and crying to go after the game on Sunday? To Sweet Shots. So the whole team went over to Sweet Shots. That's the kind of atmosphere that you're going to draw to that. It's different from what a golf simulator would be. It's a completely different market. Sure. So in Grand Forks, we've always pushed. We don't want to have any competition. We saw that, for businesses many years ago. It's left us in a worse place. I think we have room for options when it comes to different things. So I don't really see the competition side. I see it really as a full add to the community. So
free enterprise.
I honestly, I think it's going to be a huge win for the community. And I hope it gets passed tonight. Now,
the big question is, how'd the kid do in the hockey tournament?
Well, we only won one game. He was 1-3. It was a pretty high level tournament. So they did beat one of the Fargo teams, but some of the teams that came in there.
And what level is that now?
This would have been 2014's was the year.
Okay.
So it's the second year. He's gonna be second year Pee Wee.
Sure. Now, did I read this somewhere? We got a new flight coming from Grand Forks to Orlando.
Yeah, that's gonna be a seasonal one. So
there we go.
It's we need to keep building off of this and building off of this and building. I mean, it seems like we get something, but then Vegas used to be more year round. That had stopped for the summer. So we're still waiting on the United. That's the big sort of winner right there. Is if United comes. I've really heard it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But until something's here, we ain't going to stop. We'll keep fighting and clawing for that. And they're really looking at bringing both Chicago and Denver. So you're talking.
Oh wow.
Really only one option for daily flights now, and all of a sudden we're going to be up to 3. It would basically double our capacity overnight, and that just opens up the whole West Coast too. So I'm hoping by the spring, if not sooner, that we're going to see those flights and be able to start booking them.
Well, rumor has it flights might start at like $69.
Oh, is this for the Orlando one you're talking?
Yeah.
That's
that's cheaper than going from Thief River to Minneapolis, for Pete's sake.
That Mesa one's always been very reasonable. Yep. I mean, you can obviously add whatever you want, buy the best seat, get multiple bags, but you can fly for pretty reasonable if you're just you and you don't have much with you.
And see, we're trying to get a flight in March to Miami and having a hell of a time. It's like going to take a day and a half to get there. It's ridiculous. Al says, you're glad you live in Minnesota, you and Walls. Yeah. No, just me. You don't bring up the W name around here. That's like the F word to me, Fargo. Okay. So, on a sad note, and I wanted to kind of start with this, and I'm sure you knew Nick Chine. What a loss for not only the education community, but the baseball community in Grand Forks. I mean, my kid's pushing 40, and he played for Nick and was here for the funeral. And just a devastating loss, considering, I was listening to an interview that he did with Ryan Cunningham, and lightning had hit a tree right by him, or the tree blew down. It was at the state tournament right in front of him during the interview.
Wow.
And the next day, he's gone. I mean, wow, what a loss.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know him super well, but obviously a huge impact to the community and far beyond baseball. So anytime you see somebody go, and especially when they aren't, at a normal age where you'd see those deaths, it kind of makes you question your own mortality, and you're getting the most out of your life, and you got to think about those things from time to time.
Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. Lawsuit coming up. Well, it was filed last year, or whatever, with Brett Burkholder. It's now they finally set a date, August. He's trying to sue, and I know this is more of a county thing, but Andy Schneider, Sheriff Schneider, is on there. A couple of county commissioners with Mark Rusted and Terry Bierke. Can you even talk about that? Do you even have any thoughts on that?
I can talk about it. They probably can't.
Yeah, I know they can't because
they probably
fun
got
with Mark about that. But
depositions and stuff coming. But that just shows we're a right to work state.
Yes.
So you can fire someone for no reason.
Sure you can.
But it gets awkward when you get the sort of the government involved. It just shows you how hard it is. Like, I mean, that was a clear cost savings, that the county did, and it improved things greatly. And then you're going to get sued on the back, and it's like you can't do anything without somebody trying to file a lawsuit.
Right. And it could end up the other way. I mean, not only the guy not have a job, but now he's got to pay for an attorney and court costs and all that kind of stuff, and you just don't know how things are going to end.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing about it too is it's not like done tomorrow.
No.
They always got to drag it on for a few years.
Well, it's been more than a year already.
Yeah.
I mean, it was clearly the right move. What do you do when you have a sheriff that's running that now through a county commission action? You're not really going to have a director of the jail if you're already the director of the jail. So to me, it looked about as well as it could have been handled from the outside, but someone did have to lose their job. And I think people always look at that like, it's so easy to be in these positions because you can just cut. There's people that you're firing that it's going to hurt them. I mean, it's going to hurt them financially, mentally, emotionally. That's the worst thing. I lose sleep every time when you have to let somebody go, even if it's deserved, which it often is. It's really hard to do, and it's easy on the outside just to say, oh, cut costs, we're just going to slash and burn. I mean, it's not that simple.
Kind of like radio.
Tough. Yeah.
Look what happened here in Grand Forks. Look what happened to me. Another guy I know was working out in Bismarck after 6 years, and they just, boom, let him go. He announced it yesterday. And again, it's all just corporate costs kind of things, which really sucks. A couple of questions I do want to ask you. I want to pick your brain a little bit about Mr. Mayor is before we take break and I think I asked you this last time, is ice in Grand Forks or East Grand Forks, or do you know? And if you did know, could you tell us?
Yes, they've been here since this formation.
I mean, would you have a construction crew working anymore?
I mean, they're obviously here. I don't they have a job to do. It's immigration and custom enforcement. They work within the borders of our country. So there's been no increased, we don't have a large influx of that being on the northern border. They're just doing their jobs like they've done for the last, I think it was this out of Homeland Security back in 2001, I think was after the 9/11. I think is when ICE was formed. So it's been here ever since. They've got a facility here that they utilize around the northern border. It's this is really the outpost for border control too. So I don't. It seems to be odd that people think it's something new.
And it's so funny too, because when people think of borders, all they think about is Mexico.
Yeah.
They don't think about Canada. I mean, there's as much stuff trying to get across the border through Canada as there is there. But you would think if you were illegal, you wouldn't want to be near any border. You'd think you'd want to be more in the middle of the United States.
Yeah.
I think pretty much.
Probably in a liberal state, too.
Well, there you go.
Kind of narrows it down, right?
But I would imagine then we don't have nothing to worry about here. It doesn't seem like there's illegals working around here.
The workers that are up here, they're usually through some type of program that they're bringing folks in. And we need that on the construction side. We can't get stuff done otherwise. You see that. So, and in the farming side too, this has been an area that's brought in labor.
For sure. I mean, not only from down south, but the Africans.
South Africans.
We get a lot of South Africans, and you can always tell them they wear like short shorts with boots. But
they got that.
And they work their hard.
They got like long sleeve shirts on too, and it's like 90. It's like, what do you do? Y'all have to dress like Bruno from Sacha Baron Cohen, whatever the heck that guy's name is.
There you go. Bruno. But they work hard. They do. And we need them here to get this work done. I did also want to ask your view, and this is what I like about having you in here, Mr. Mayor, is we can kind of go more off the charts. We try not to make it all stuffy and hard, but what are your views, if you have any, on flock cameras? Because, when they first came out, I thought, okay, if there's a camera here watching this intersection, for example, if I blow a red light, it's going to see me and it's going to send me a ticket in the mail, which is fine. But I've always said, look, if you're not breaking the law, what are you worried about? But now it's coming out how some of these flock cameras are being used, how people have been fired because of what they are using them for. Do you think we need flock cameras? Do we have any? I'm sure there's a few in Grand Forks. And what are your thoughts? Because as far as I know, flock just leases. Nobody owns them. So if somebody does come and cut all your flock cameras down or your towers down, you're just stuck to have them fixed.
Yeah. I think AI has been probably more of the issue when it's been used, to try to do recognition of folks. And I don't know if it's all flock camera, just AI in general.
Well, like the lady in Fargo.
Yeah. The city doesn't have any. We don't lease any. We don't have any.
Okay.
We don't own any. There are some on private property. So you can go to, I think it's dflock.com. You can see that there's some around the university campus and there's some around the Columbia Mall.
Sure.
That's on private property. You can have a camera that looks out from your property to anything you want.
You
it's
can.
public view. So you're welcome to do that. We're not interested. We're not going to bring any of those in. This is Grand Forks, North Dakota. This isn't South Central LA.
Right.
I think you got to be realistic here. The harm versus the benefit. I think what you're taking away from people's privacy is not worth the benefit that you're going to get in a place like Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is why I love living here.
Absolutely. You nailed it right there. Fence around the Grand Forks Police Department parking lot.
Yeah.
I can't believe there's not one there. I could imagine how much it would cost to put a fence there, but I've seen people laying right in the yard in sleeping bags there before, so I'm curious. Is that going to be a happening thing?
We'll see where it gets to. It's something they just brought up. They were doing the early stage, just seeing what it would cost.
Sure.
And it would, it's some of the, just so you have a little more space where you're private there, so you don't have someone, if you're just getting off of work, someone that confront you. You'd have to be a moron, in my opinion, to confront someone in a freaking police parking lot. But I don't know if it'll happen or not. PD's just looking at what the cost would be, and we're always trying to help them out if they need something to enhance what they do. They have a hard job. So
Absolutely,
I'm always going to be there to try to make that happen. So we'll see. We'll try to figure out what the benefits are versus the cost, and we'll come to some. But it's so early in that some of these things get reported before all the details are there, and they think it's already a done deal. And it's like, well, this is just the first stages of trying to figure out what it's going to cost.
And the thing is any idiot could go by and go, well, look at all these cars in there at noon. They must all work here. Let's go key this car. Let's go slash these tires. Those are the kind of things I think of. And I don't know why I do, but it just seems like, we are lucky here, like you said, to live here. We do support our law enforcement, but not everywhere does. And so maybe we don't need a fence. On the kind of the same note, and I'm sure you're here sick of hearing, because I'm never downtown at night, very rarely, but I've heard, the complaints and things like that. But now the city is coming up with this new trespass code, which I think is awesome, because everybody deserves a second chance. But God darn it, do you really need 2, 3, 4, 5 chances to figure this out? But second time now, if you get a second offense for trespassing, this could be, we're talking a year in jail, $3,000 fine, possibly more. You just got to do that.
Well, this pairs up with our camping ordinance, really. So there were some issues with homeless folks that were camping and then And just to be clear, too, it's not just trespass. You have to get trespassed first. So you don't just get, you have to be told that you're not welcome there, and you have to then come back on to get the first trespass. So you're really trespassing three times before you get to that point. So that clearly that person hasn't learned, and you've been removed, and you're not allowed to be in that area anymore. So it just puts a little bit more teeth to it, and it's a great way for our police to actually to have an ability to interact when someone's, maybe they're homeless and they're camping in a place that they shouldn't be. You can't do that here. This isn't the place for that. If there's plenty of other places that want to see that here, we're going to make it uncomfortable, but you can get help. We'll have that help available for you. But if you don't want that help and you just want to live in comfort, that's not what Grand Forks is for. That's not what it's about. So we're not going to be a magnet for that.
Good answer. Simple. I like that. We're going to take a little break. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and especially when it comes to construction. It seems like we're always under construction, but that's just the way it is when you live up here in the tundra. Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski in the studio. We will be right back after this. Make sure to tune in Thursdays at 11 o'clock for Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Join Dale, producer, Stephen Lewis, and myself, John Roberts, as we talk to your favorite race car drivers, crew members, car owners, and the people behind the scenes to bring racing to your favorite tracks. Catch the Forks Karting Association track schedules and keep up to date with the local karting news and weekly results. And be following to win tickets to the world-famous legendary Bull Ring 2. Dirty Thursday, every Thursday at 11. Brought to you by River City Speedway on Grand Forks' best source. The Red Clay Strays Grateful Tour is coming to the Alaris Center on August 18th. Get your tickets now at the Alaris box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Rays show tomorrow, or tonight, I mean. Rumors Sports Bar and Casino got a bus going. It starts early. The show is an early one, so I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski is in the studio with us, and every time you're in here, Bo, we talk about construction. Right now, 42nd underpass, 32nd overpass over I-29. Yeah. We know the 42nd is going to be a while. I haven't been down that street now in probably a couple of weeks, but
don't go there.
They're getting to it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't been over there in a month, it looks completely different now.
It's on pretty good pace, and I think the schedule is kind of about this time next year to be open. So it's looking like it's going to get there. I mean, that's a project that's been 30 years in the making. We got the underpass on Washington done. We got the Columbia overpass done. Now, obviously, 17. There's a lot going on there, but it's all been sequenced, so we get a lot done in a short period of time with as minimal interruption as possible. But keep in mind, I know we would like to be able to move around better in the summer, but that's the only time you can do this construction. Right. So that's when it's got to happen.
And this is a major job that they are doing. But what's going to be funny about this is when it's all said and done, who's going to bitch? I mean, what are people going to have to complain about? Because every day on Facebook, the ranks, rabs, and reviews or whatever, you always got somebody complaining about 42nd Avenue. To me, I would just go somewhere else. I wouldn't even drive that way if I knew I had to go to work, or I'd leave a little earlier. But what are they going to complain about? Well, wait, look where we live. They'll complain about something.
We'll find something. Yeah, it's going to be super efficient. And I mean, as far as traffic moving through there, it's going to be great. And it's going to look more attractive than it did in the past.
Yeah,
so now you can drive in there as you're going to campus, and I think it's going to be great.
It's going to be a win for Grand Forks. That's all there is to it. Oh, this just come off the top of my head. I did see there was a story in our part-time newspaper about the noise at River City Speedway, which, by the way, they didn't even name the speedway correctly. They named it like Red River Speedway or something. But how important is it to have things like this on a weekly basis? Because when you looked at all the comments afterwards, I don't think I saw one negative comment. Even people that live in that area. I mean, I live out of town, East Grand Forks, on the way to Fisher. On a good night, you can actually hear some of the racing going on. But it's, to me, you hear people say with the beat plant, it's the smell of money. To me, the River City Speedway is the sound of money for the city of Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. It brings in money. It's
the races. They're not new. People move in there, and then it's I'm surprised that there's engine noises when the races are going on. It's like, really? It's been there for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't know the timeline, but I don't know. I get emails from time to time. We got to get this thing moved. I said, it's on county. This is a county deal, but the city loves it. So I don't know where you think you're going to move it to. Go move it somewhere else, then someone else will complain about it, or you keep it where it's at. I mean,
right. Somebody will always complain about it. You had mentioned Cirrus Aircraft earlier, a big business in Grand Forks. It's been around a long time in Grand Forks and Duluth. Now, is Grand Forks, are they actually going to do a big expansion?
They just
completed 30,000 foot. Oh, okay.
That was just completed. They're looking at doing another major expansion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Grand Forks is probably at the top of that list. So there's more than 500 folks working there now. They're the number one aircraft for single engine piston, and then also on the jet now.
So they're making some pretty cool little jets.
They've got they're crushing it. They got I think a 2-year backlog on the piston plant and a 4-year backlog on the jet. So they're expanding like crazy. So they were in town just last week to do the ribbon cutting for this expansion. Now they're already looking at doing the next one. So I think it's a great deal for the city and people to increase the economy, increase jobs. It's great.
Fufang got put back a little bit. What's going on there? And has the noise died down about that place yet?
I think so. Obviously, we got a Gristo that's taken their land and moved on from that. So
I mean, a Gristo, yeah. The Fufang's done. Cheapers.
I was going to say, your F word was Fargo. I think the F word's Fufang. Double F word. But yeah, Gristo's rocking and rolling. Man, they've already put the pilings they had to put in. If you ever get a chance to go, I think on their Facebook or some of their, they show what this final plant is going to look like, and then you can actually see like underneath. They got like 100 pilings or more that have to go down 70 feet, to get to bedrock. So they're originally they were thinking it was a $400 to $500 million. They're at like $1 billion plant now, which obviously that's a scary number for everybody, but it's great to see that they're committed to making that investment here. And they pushed it back a year, but they're it'll be fine because I think that crop, they weren't going to be able to take a full harvest anyway that year. As they were getting, so this pushback will allow them to take that first full crop. I think they'll take it in 28, store it, be ready to process it in 29.
Now, do you think this will make more farmers potentially want to farm potatoes?
Well, definitely in the land that had farmed potatoes in the past. Potato farming isn't something you just jump into. You have
Exactly.
It's capital intensive, so I think it's an expansion of acreage, probably more so than anybody new farming it. But we're down. We had like 140,000 acres of potatoes in the past, and then we had all those droughts in the 80s and early 90s, and that shrunk to about half that. So there's plenty of capacity out there.
I mean, you drive by Black Gold, they got 25 potato trucks sitting out there, just ready to roll.
We're going to be humming when this, when this construction, it's going now. When it's fully going, this plant's going. I mean, our local economy is just going to be booming.
Oh yeah, and people don't realize. I mean, you could go to McDonald's down in Florida, and the odds are the French fries probably came from Grand Forks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is potato here in Idaho. You don't get any better than the potato plants or the crops we get up here. I wanted to know about also the Children's Museum humming right along.
Yeah, that's rock and roll, and they got all the structural steel up there. It's kind of sits in the shadow of the Ultra Sports Complex, but that whole stretch, like you mentioned, the underpass, if this Ray Richards gets done, the Children's Museum, the Alaris Center, Ultra Sports Complex, I mean, it's going to be an absolute, destination spot to go, and you're going to see a lot of people stopping here and going to Grand Forks and seeing no need to drive further south.
Absolutely, and that's what we want. Possible fourth Valley Senior Living Facility could be built. I've been hearing stuff about that also.
Yeah, Garth Ridlin, he's the CEO over there. It's a nonprofit run by all the local churches. But that Valley Senior Living is looking at a major expansion, kind of just across from Sartoma Park, just to the west of Ulcher. So they've really done a great job of getting the most out of it. They got walking paths on the coulee there. I think it's going to clean that up. It's just been a dirt parking
It looks
lot,
good too. I mean, they make their buildings aesthetically, they look good.
And the baby boomers, I just talked with this morning, the baby boomers, we're full swing of retirement age and needing that type of care. I know I got family members that are going to need that, soon or already do. And it'd be great to have a place for them to be locally where you can visit them a lot more.
Sure.
So.
What is this about did we get a big Homeland Security grant? Almost a couple $100,000. And what was that for? I mean, to me, it sounded like it was a good deal because you can never be too safe.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, back in the movies that we used to watch back in the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, you might not know the 70s, but they always talked like, oh, this would be our first missile strike. And they always have Grand Forks listed on there.
War games,
yeah, exactly. Now, this $199,168 Homeland Security grant for vehicle barriers and kinds of other things. What is...
I was trying to remember exactly. We put in for these grants all the time. A lot of times this is equipment that we would have anyway. Like we got a big grant for our respirators.
Oh, sure.
For the fire department. So if these grants are available, we're going to try to get them because otherwise it's local tax dollars that's going towards it. But we've got good relationships with all, local and state and federal law enforcement. So it's no surprise that they'd want to put Grand Forks at the top of the list. And that just means we're getting maybe some additional equipment or some equipment that we're already going to get that now we don't have to pay for locally. So you constantly, we have people that are doing this full time on the grants, and we've really ramped that up because if we don't get it, it's already appropriate at the federal level. If it doesn't come here, it's
somebody else going to get
some other
it.
city.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not costing anything.
Yeah. So I know some folks say, well, it's still our tax dollars. Well, yeah, don't you want your tax dollars coming here? Otherwise, it's going to go to the bigger cities.
Right. A grant is a grant, folks. It's not going to cost you anything for a grant. Yeah. Now, with all of this kind of stuff, and I never thought of this, but does the city of Grand Forks, do you have like this ginormous storage building, or where the heck do you guys put everything?
It all depends on what type of equipment. The police have an annex off 17th as well. They keep most of the stuff in house there. Public Works has some space to store some stuff. So there's got a few places around town, but we try to keep it pretty tight. We're not looking at expanding any more city buildings by any means.
A lot of things going on downtown, which I absolutely love. I got the street fair this Saturday and Sunday. Do you guys hit the farmers market and do you do the street fairs and all that kind of stuff?
We always go to the street fair. My wife does hit the farmers market probably every other time. A lot of times we'll get produce back and we don't finish in time, so it goes rotten.
Oh, yeah.
It's fresh stuff. So my wife loves going out to that. And downtown's really humming. Other than, like you said earlier, the street fair and maybe if a council meeting goes along, I'm not down there too often.
Yeah.
When I am, I'm really shocked. I work down there every day, but it's clean. It's clean. It's nice. This is what a city should look like, not like some of these other disgusting messes that we're seeing across the country.
I won't name any.
I got a long list. I was going to let it be.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. Potato Bowl, man, UND kicks off. High school soccer starts today.
Everything's come. My kid started football, so he goes to Riverside Christian School. Them and Sacred Heart, they partner up with Fisher for football. So my kid's playing football in Fisher.
Oh, wow.
That started yesterday. He's a 7th grader, so he's doing middle school football. So it's like,
now, do they bus them to Fisher then, or how does that work?
Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, Sacred Heart does it.
Okay, I was going to say, if you ever bring them there, I'm right on the way. Stop by one time. And
I'll be going to some games, so we'll see.
That'd be cool. Bicklum still coaching over there?
I'm not sure who their coach is, so I haven't been.
Okay, it used to be Darren Bicklum. And I went to college with this dude.
Okay.
So he's from like Goodrich, Grigla, Minnesota. So I know he'd been the coach there forever. He might have retired now recently. I'm not sure, because when you get my age, that's what you do. You retire. Wow. School coming up. You're going to be sports to the nuts again. The one thing I did see was pretty cool, and you got to live this, and I think this would be so neat. I know Oshie's coming up, the one last skate.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I don't know how many other colleges do this, but if they did, I don't think it would be to the magnitude that we would see here at the Ralph Ingolstadt Arena. But what did that mean to you when they called you in? I mean, it's almost like saying, hey, man, you're in the Hall of Fame, but not quite yet.
It's pretty special. I mean, obviously I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good career. I got my jersey hanging in the rafters in Blaine High School. Then I got over in Kazakhstan in Astana, they retired my number. So it's kind of cool that you get to, have that sort of, that past that sits there forever, even when you're not around. And then that was, doing that skate was really cool. I mean, I was like more nervous than a game. I'm like, don't fall down. My skates, I had done my skates on like a year. I wasn't skating a whole lot prior to doing that. And obviously it's like riding a bike, so you got it back, but I was just worried about not falling. So I had a lot of family and friends that got to come to town. So it was pretty cool.
Now, the big question is, do you have a key to any city though?
Exactly. I can hand them out every now and then.
It's funny because I have one mine right in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I've had people, because my wife decided to put it there. And I don't even remember bringing the dang thing home. I don't know why I did. I think it was just in my pocket or something, because I thought it was in here. But she had put it up there, and now people are like, well, what's that for? And then I got to show them, like, it's key to the city, Grand Forks. Awesome. They're like, what the hell? How do you rate? Fall is coming up. I mean, the guys are already bear baiting. Early goose season's upon us. Any fall trips to Montana planned? The only reason I'm asking is because, man, you hooked me up with some really good sausage.
Oh, that's why you want to get re-upped. So we're going to have to survive. The Bochenski family's going to have to survive another winter on the stock from our elk meat from last year. So I did not get a tag.
Okay.
The 2 other guys I hung with did not get a tag. So that's the first time we've been iced out. And I mean, by iced out, I mean zero.
Zero.
Not ice.
Skunked.
I'm not talking about ice. I'm talking about we didn't get a tag. So hopefully we'll be lined up. They changed some rules in Montana so that the outfitters get like priority now. So they're turned into an economic deal.
Which is dumb. If you're a landowner, it should be available, but
yeah, we got to get a little bit more land before we get the gratis type of thing. But we can hunt right from our land.
Okay.
That's where I got the elk last year. So we'll see. Yeah, we're going to be a little thin pickings until we get another elk down.
I want to see Rusted out there, seeing if he can't get trailed by a timber wolf again like he did up here with us this year. Did he ever tell you that story?
Yeah, he's been around a few things, that's for sure. The year before he somehow got into like a bear den, so he manages to find his way into the wild. And
I'm 300 yards away watching him, going, "What the hell are you doing out there?"
I don't know if he just looks like fresh meat or something as he's walking through the woods, but he certainly gets the predators.
Maybe it's the smell. I don't know. Rusted, we're talking about you, buddy. What is on, as we're getting ready to wrap this up, but what is on the top of your list right now? I mean, this is usually one of the last questions I ask you every time you're on the show. You usually seem to prioritize things very well. But I also think that, in my opinion, since I have lived here, Mr. Mayor, you are probably only the first full-time mayor. And I know you're not a full-time mayor, but I consider you that. Yeah. You've got your ducks in a row. It seems like you always do. What is top of your list right now for Grand Forks? Yeah,
right now, and it's been on the list for a while, so I hate to keep talking about it, but the Columbia Mall, there's an opportunity that's right around the corner, so I'm hoping that goes through, and we'll actually have some new ownership at the mall, and then that's going to kick off, I think, a massive redevelopment there. So that's going to take a lot of effort. We went through a lot of big things, even like this Ray Richards thing. That's been a lot of work, planning and zoning, getting through where it is today. But it's kind of, today we'll find out if it's going to go or not, and then it's more of an inspections job after that. So those are kind of two big things. And air service. I mean, air service is going to be. That's going to keep holding us back until we get something going in the right direction. And, a seasonal flight to Orlando, that's great. It's something, but
heck yeah.
That's not getting us all the way there. We ain't done yet.
Now, do you have to go to the meeting tonight, or do you not go to the county commission hearings?
I'll go to that one. I think this project's been, it's been, like I said, 2-3 years worth. So one way or another, I'm going to see how it ends. Obviously, I'm hoping it goes through. So I'm going to be there one way or another to see with my own eyes.
So how old are your kids now? What grades?
Got a senior, a freshman, and a 7th grader.
A senior?
Yeah, she's got to pick her college here pretty soon.
Does she have any idea what she even wants to do?
Yeah, she's looking. So she wanted to go to an engineering school.
Okay.
So my wife said that's fine. Let's just make sure it's south of Snowfall. So she looked to.
So now that we'll be having a pilot in the family, we can go visit you whenever we want.
Maybe that, but I think my wife just wanted somewhere to go that was warm in the winter.
For sure.
So she's looked at Texas A&M, Baylor.
Oh wow.
And, so she looked at a few SMU and TCU, but I think she's narrowed down to Baylor and A&M. A&M's got a really great engineering school, but it's like 70,000 students, and they got their football thing going down there. So that might be fun.
So she's smart.
Yeah, I think she's really smart. So she must be like her mom. So
okay, I was going to ask. I was going to ask in a try to polite way. How did I was always
mechanically smart, but Ma was the book smart one. So I like the numbers and so I probably have more of an engineering, but I went to the economic side. But Mom's the book smart, the well read.
Well, you were smart enough to be a very good athlete and do well.
I found a way. So
yeah, you found a way.
Smart enough not to find a way to screw it up. Too bad.
Well, actually, you did graduate, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a degree and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all you. Good. You're doing great.
I do. Okay. I'm probably underplayed. I do have an economics degree from the University of North Dakota. Mm-hmm. I was the first person in my family to go through a 4-year college and get a degree like that. So it is a big deal, but
that's all that matters.
I always, I like to downplay things.
Well, now you started something, and now look what your kids are going to follow, and they're just going to make you look dumb.
I hope that's my hope.
in a nutshell.
What else would you want? You want your kids to do better than you.
And that's all I wanted for my kid, too, for him to have it better than me and to do better than me. And he's doing that, and he did that, and I'm absolutely thrilled about it. Boy, anything you want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
No, just thanks for having me as always, guys. Really appreciate you bringing me in here.
You know, it's funny. I can give you a text, and it's like, sure, when do you need me? And, I can't that day. How about the next? And it never fails. You just show up. You're Johnny on the spot. I can't say that about every other mayor I've known around here in the last 30 years. So we can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
I think you're doing a great job. You know what? Some of the North Enders might give me a hard time because I'm friends with you. But once I talk to them a little bit, they usually go, oh, okay. All right. Okay. And anyway, you guys, if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. Thank you. We will see you soon. Are you going to get to do any hunting? Maybe you should come deer hunting with us.
Well, we'll get a wolf tag so we can at least carry a rifle.
You get the fun hunt.
Yeah, but they're so elusive. The chance of you actually hunting a wolf is like zero, but at least we'll have a tag. We can carry a rifle. So
sure.
So if we run into something else that's going to kill us, we can at least
they're not that tasty, but they'd be really cool.
I want the skins for that. That'd be pretty.
Wouldn't that be cool? Man. Thank you very much, Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski. Good luck with football season coming up. Hockey's right around the corner. You got kids playing 19 different sports. I know what it's like. You're going to have a good time. Just enjoy it while you can, because before you know it, they're going to be sick of you. And that's kind of how it goes. But thank you. Looking forward to seeing you not in the studio. We got to get together one of these days. All right?
Sounds like a plan.
There we go. Our show today, by the way, brought to you by JD Construction. When you finally come to the conclusion that you just can't get your heavy construction done on your own, call JD Construction to get the job done right. JD Construction has the right equipment for the right job, big or small. Excavating, demolition, spring cleanup. Farmers, get all your ditch work or tree lines cleaned up before planting season. JD Construction also does concrete work and concrete removal. From small excavating jobs to big jobs needing a laser system or a dozer or a payloader with a grapple. And they have the trucks to haul material to or from the job site. JD Construction can do the job the right way. Contact them today by calling 701-740-4220. There's still some spring openings left, or schedule work for fall too. JD Construction, getting the job done the right way. Call 701-740-4220. Shout out to Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski for showing up here today at the studio. We always love talking to Bo. Tomorrow, oh boy, we got Forks BS is back. What do you want to talk about tomorrow? Last week's show, boy, I tell you what, we got a lot of great feedback about it, so be thinking about that. And if you want, you can email us, local@gfbestsource.com. Tell us what you want to talk about, or even send us a text or a call at 701-213-0863. We're out of here. Maybe we'll catch you at the Red Clay Stray Show tonight at the Alaris. Otherwise, like I said, Forks BS is back tomorrow. You know what? Make sure to tune in and make sure to like, share, tag, and follow us, all right? Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. It dings every time we go on the air. It's a really cool thing. We love the Forks. We absolutely do. We're Grand Forks' best source. We're giving the Forks their identity back.